Hi everyone, super excited to go through some enhancements that we made to Flow FlexCard. Uh, had a lot of great community feedback after the initial release, so kind of went back to the drawing board a little bit and just want to share with you some of those community-driven enhancements to this component that is coming in this package in version 1.1.1. So let's get to it. So I have my test flow here where I'm basically just going to get some accounts, display those accounts into a card, each account into its own specific flex card, and then on the last screen here, I'm going to show you what one of these enhancements outputs. So in the framework itself, those enhancements that are included now is rich text is now supported in this visible field. So if you have a rich text field, or things like a hyperlink field, hyperlink formula field, those now all display correctly in the body of the card. A couple notes here with rich text. If you're displaying an image, you're going to want to keep that image somewhat small. The cards themselves are not going to expand to take in that image into consideration. So just something to note here. Other option you do have, if you do have very large images, is to change that box size to something very large. Other enhancements that we have are we're giving you control of the header style. This header style variable here, you can see that I have background color powder blue, and I'm changing my font weight to bold. These are standard HTML inputs here. So if you want to learn more, some great websites out there on HTML like W3 Schools where you can control different style here for your header. And then the other attribute or property that you see here is allow multi-select. If you set allow multi-select to true now, you are getting a checkbox input on each individual card that you want to add that record ID to a collection, maybe to use further downstream in your flow. So let's go ahead and see what this looks like. I'm going to debug my flow here. And we can see everything that occurs on the right here. So as you can see, my background for my header is now powder blue with a font weight of bold. So kind of make my label pop out here a little bit more. And then you can see here's my rich text field on each of these accounts. Like I said, full rich text support to include images straight from here. This is my flow that I can pop out into a modal. And like I said, we now have this plus option here. So if I check this, it's going to add that to a collection. So I'll leave those two checked here. And you can see these are my two record IDs from my collection that I'm outputting onto that screen. So you can see my output selected records is these two record IDs that I'm displaying in my final screen there again. So run this again. What's great is if I do select one of these, and let's say I made a mistake, I don't want to include Bradley Morris, I only want to recruit military in my collection, I click next, I only have that one ID. So it's only ever going to add the cards that are selected to that collection. Like I said, you can use further downstream in your flow. You also still have the one property of is clickable to true. If you do set clickable to true, I recommend leaving this as false and vice versa. So is clickable true still will allow just for a single card to be selected and clicked. We set that to false, so we'll see that after we save here, the checkboxes are no longer going to be populated in my card, so allowing just for a single click add to a property. So no more checkbox, I add it, move on, and we see that my collection is null. However, I do have in my value, I do have that ID if I wanted to use that further downstream in my flow. So always keep the ideas coming, always let us know what you're building, and excited for these updates and also to see what other ideas everybody comes up with. Thanks.